Alright, so it's been a while since I made a video, and as you may have seen the title, this is my first go as being a photojournalist. Today I got contracted for the SF Standard to cover this anti-Trump protest. So this will be my first assignment, hopefully first of many. I actually got booked for another assignment for later tonight, so I'm gonna maybe try and get some footage of this as well. I'm here at Civic Center. Time right now is 12:15, so I'm scheduled to start shooting at 1, but I think I'll probably go over there and try and get some B-roll and footage and see what's going on. But yeah, today I have my Leica MP with some Tri-X in here, got the 28, and then I have in my bag for the assignment the Leica SL2S. So we're gonna shoot a bunch of digital. I feel like a true photojournalist because the turnaround on this is same day within the next few hours. So we'll see how I do. Should be pretty interesting. I've never thought that I would become a photojournalist at any point in time, but the dream of it was always cool. So we're going over there. Plenty of people. Good old Civic Center. All right, so I'm here a little early, but it seems like we have a good crowd gathered, so we'll see. We'll see if anything gets a little crazy. I've been tasked to shoot this very street photography style, so I think I'll be in my element, but you never know. Got some protesters right here. Alright, so I got the big boy with the flash in my pocket, so we'll see. This will be an interesting setup, doing both. Alright, we'll see how much footage I actually get of me talking. I don't have my mics, so yeah. Alright, quick check-in. So far it's only been like 20-ish minutes. I think I've got some good stuff. Basically I'm just focusing on all the protesters, the traffic, honking, looking for interesting compositions with the signs, not trying to approach it so on the nose, if you will. So I have an off-camera flash on my digital, and then I'm just gonna see if I can even snag any film photos. Since I have a pretty tight deadline and small amount of deliverables, I don't want to overshoot, but I want to make sure every shot kind of counts. So let's get back into the pit. I also apologize if the audio for the B-roll is going to be terrible. I didn't bring my mics, and honestly, this might all be voiceover, so we'll see. Alright, another check-in. Off-camera flash is pretty cool. I think it's helping me get the kind of emphasis I need on some of these photos, especially the signs, trying to layer it in a way that is both compelling but also interesting. So yeah, I think I'm getting a good groove going, so I'm going to keep walking around and get some more photos.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay, so you feel bad because you lost a lot of money?
Yeah, that's right, I do.
Okay. But when everybody bothers cool here,
but because that guy got taken away, they shouldn't have taken away, and now they won't.
Alright, so the library was closed, so now I gotta find a place to edit. So I'm going to Hayes, and wish me luck, I guess. Oh, I just missed my bus. Damn it. All right, well, I'll just take my time. My initial thoughts so far from the first story was, what a rush. It was a pretty tight deadline. Shootout 1, deliver by 3. Did not deliver by 3, but we got it done. So, pretty hyped. And the article looks good, so now we'll see how the second story goes. But anyway, I gotta wait for a new bus since I missed my bus making this. Alright, anyway. Alright, so we're back downtown at Civic Center. I basically went home to recharge my batteries, get some food, and prep for the second article, which was also a surprise. So not only did I get to shoot one assignment today, I had 2 assignments for my first go with the SF Standard. So this next assignment is actually photographing some nightlife at this party inside the SF library. And the brief was just to shoot it as if I was shooting street and capturing the night. So that's right up my alley. Anyway, I missed my bus earlier, so I had to catch a new bus. But we're back here. And as you can see, no more protesters, just some nice, beautiful sunset, golden hour light. Look at that. That's crazy. It looks really terrible on my phone, but it looks cool. Anyway, now we're going over there. We were here, now we're there. I forgot to mention that both of these articles will be linked down below, but at the time of me recording this, the first article went live, which I'm pretty happy about. That was my first go as a true photojournalist working on a tight deadline. Basically, shoot time at 1, upload time at 3. Did I upload at 3? Maybe? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But we got the job done. So that's all that matters. Got the job done. So luckily this one is a later turnaround time, which is next day. So yeah, shout out to Max. Super hyped to have worked with him. He did all the words for the article, and he's like one of my good skate friends and just all around great dude. And shout out to Justin, who is the photo editor at the Standard. So thank you, Justin, for thinking of me and piling 2 stories for my first day as a photojournalist officially. So walking across where I was shooting photos. Crazy. Anyway, let's get inside the library and photograph some nightlife. Crazy. Got the doggy diner. Look at this horse. It's crazy. back in. I don't know if it'll be too loud, but we're outside again because inside it was pretty crazy. But they have these kind of bat signal looking lights. You probably can't even hear me, but I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, flash is working half the time, and so is the autofocus, but struggling. But we're working through it, and we'll figure it out. All right.
Yo, these 40 Jacksons real to me wanna hop in jet. They might shine.
Is this thing on? All right, we're trying out this new mic setup. Hopefully this works. Oh, hi, Beanie. Want to say hi? My cat wants to say hi. Beanie, can you speak? Speak. Can you speak? Okay. Today is April 7th. It's officially 2 days after my first 2 assignments with the SF Standard. All I can say at the moment is what a rush. I had 2 assignments that I was put on for my first day freelancing for them. First was obviously that anti-Trump protest that you saw earlier in the video. And then second was the Night of Ideas event later that same day. Having the tight deadline for the first assignment felt like a true test as a photojournalist. I can understand and appreciate how much work goes into that line of work, and I applaud every photojournalist and every reporter that goes out into the field to deliver stories and news at a breakneck speed. Like for me, to shoot at 1, deliver by 3, kind of deliver by 3, and be able to have the story run that same day was such an amazing experience. But it was also such a daunting experience, especially for being my first assignment. I can only appreciate the help of Max helping me out in the field, pointing me in certain directions as well to talk to people and as well as photograph certain people. It was great to work with him, and now I can call him a colleague. We've been skate friends for a while, and now it's cool to mix the 2 worlds. And I also want to thank Justin too. He's been a huge help, always being readily available to answer any of my questions, and I can't thank him enough. And it was also funny that he asked me to do the second story literally after getting signed on to the first one. And I thought that was an interesting way to, I don't know, get my foot in the door and try and test my skills out on another story that didn't really have to do with politics. Seeing the energy from the first assignment versus the second assignment, they were so opposing in terms of like energy and feeling. There was a lot of tension, definitely, during the first assignment. Seeing the presence of pro-MAGA people and pro-Trump people going through this giant protest of anti-Trump people, it was a very odd sensation. Obviously, tensions were high. And as a journalist and a photojournalist at that, you just want to be there to bear witness to it all, if that makes sense. And then juxtaposed to the second event that I did, which was the Night of Ideas event. So it was very interesting to pop into different rooms and hear very progressive speech about how we can best use these new tools, if you will, for the future. All I can say is if I wasn't on assignment for these things, these are probably events that I wouldn't have normally gone to. I mean, probably the protests just to document whatever is happening in the city. That's something that I find important as someone who, doesn't do photography for a living, but I just love taking photos, and I'm only speaking for myself. I've always found that photography for me has been more of a daily journal, if you will, just recounting things that I've experienced and went through in my life. And I try and reflect that in my photos. And I'm very appreciative that Justin and Brandon from the SF Standard appreciate the way that I approach photography and see the world, and basically gave me stories that lend to more of my skill set of just being in the moment, being present, and just bearing witness to what is in front of you, but also giving my perspective on it. And honestly, I'm just thankful. I never thought in my wildest years that I could call or remotely center myself in the realm of photojournalism or be called a photojournalist. So for me, this is a huge and humbling experience to have even gotten, a story published, But I also want to thank Justin and Brandon for believing in me and giving me a shot at covering these two events. I'm both incredibly humbled and appreciative for all their help and just being considered. I never thought that, taking photos of everyday things that I saw would take me to this area of life, but I guess here we are, 2025, photojournalism. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully I'll get some more stories that lend or that work better for my photographic skill set. Who would have thought I would be able to mix these things and actually have a published story? Hopefully this will be the first of many, but if not, I'm just incredibly thankful to just have the one experience to really live the life of a photojournalist for even just one day. So thank you, Justin. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, the SF Standard. And thank you, Max, for making that day super, super enjoyable. And I hope to do more. I don't know if I would make another video about it, but if anything, I'll probably make highlights or maybe document it. We'll see how it goes. Links to the main story is going to be in my description down below. And then the second story was just an Instagram carousel, so you can see that in a link down below as well. But I'll also link all the photos uncropped in my website, which you can also find down below. So anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video to share my first experience and day in the life of being a photojournalist for a day. All right. I'll see you next time. Same bat channel, same bat time. R.I.P. Val Kilmer. Batman forever.
Baby, I can be